I want to say thank you so much for coming back and tuning in once again to another video. I want to be able to look at this missing person case of Jade McKisik. Okay, missing person last seen leaving the 3700 block of N. McGregor Way in an unknown direction of travel. The missing person was last seen wearing a black tank top with black shorts. Any information concerning the missing person should be referred to Houston Police Patrol. You know what I'm saying? Of these of that nature. Now, it's breaking my heart. Oh shit, DC Fat Mama with the big subby. Big subby. Damn. You came in with a vengeance. Thank you so much. Shout out to Valorant or whatever. Thank you for the 10 gifted. Everybody, let's do a 10 gifted spree. No, but thank you so much, DC. I appreciate you. I love you. But yeah, and as you can see, she's 20 years old, 5'7", 136 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Out of Houston and things like that. We're going to get into this video. I want everybody, please, to share.
Houston police confirmed that 20-year-old Jade McKissik's body was found days after she disappeared. KPRC2 News reporter TJ Parker is joining us live at UH with where the investigation stands this morning. TJ.
Yeah, good morning, guys. And we have calls into the Houston Police Department as well as the medical examiner's office trying to figure out how McKisik died. We are still waiting to get answers on that. I do want to show you this map, though, just to give you a sense of where she was last seen and then where she was found. You can see on September 11th, she left LA Burgers and Daiquiris to where her body was found 4 days later along the Bayou near Spur 5. And as of now, police still trying to figure out what exactly happened. With that said, this has certainly been concerning for students.
This is a thing that's troubling to me, right? Usually the thing that's being associated with missing young girls and missing women right now is death. All we're doing now is being on pins and needles and we're waiting to find a body. We've seen it. And I want you guys to understand that there's not just one type of target group. She's 20. Desire was 13. You feel what I mean? When you look at Celeste Rivas, you feel what I mean? 15 when she was found. Like, you got to understand, y'all, there is something going on with our girl children and boy children. But I want you guys to focus on these babies. It is happening. And people are not giving two fucks about what they're doing. They don't care. Humanity is being lost in the sauce, y'all. And I want y'all to get the fuck off of TikTok and really tune into real life. Be aware of what's going on, bro. Don't get comfortable for nothing. Because one little outing, you know what I'm saying, could change the whole trajectory of your life or your family's life or your cousin's life or your niece's life. It's just sad as hell, bro. And it just shouldn't be happening. And it doesn't normally get any type of media, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. It usually don't get any type of media light. So you guys got to understand, we have to start sharing this shit with a vengeance. You know what I mean? It has to happen because everybody is gonna be blessed to get coverage. It's the truth.
But I do feel like the U of H campus or Houston in general, you just can't go anywhere alone.
Just praying for the family of her and just hoping that everybody else that hears about this is aware.
All right, so the owner of that restaurant where she was last seen tells KPRC2 News that McKisik left the restaurant around 12:30, and she adds she seemed like herself as she went toward downtown. Sky 2 flew over the area where her body was found, on the 15th. Again, how she got there and how she died is still very much a mystery. UH sent out a statement saying, in part, it is with profound sadness that we share the recent passing of one of our students. Jade Sage McKisik was a campus resident and student employee and a friend to many in our community. Of course, we're going to continue to press police as well as the medical examiner's office this morning to get answers as to how she died and where their investigation stands. Of course, once we have new details and any updates on that, we'll be sure to pass it along. We're live on the UH campus this morning. I'm TJ Parker, KPRC 2 News.
All right, thank you so much. Good morning and thanks for joining us at 8. I'm Haley Hernandez. Houston police are working to figure out what happened after a body was pulled from Bayou off Spur 5. Officers do confirm that 20-year-old U of H student Jade McKisik was found days after she vanished, and this morning, investigators still have more questions than answers. KPRC 2 News reporter TJ Parker is live at the University of Houston with what police are telling us. TJ?
Well, and Haley, hopefully we'll have some of those questions answered here shortly, as I'm going to reach out to HPD a little later this morning after this live shot to see where their investigation stands at the moment. In the meantime, we are talking to students on campus this morning about this. Many of them say they are concerned.
I think my roommate said that they were off campus, which makes me feel a little bit better about the safety on campus, but at the same time, it's still concerning. As a girl, you have to be careful.
Lady Becky, I just almost wanted to sock you. Makes you feel a little bit better, I don't mean no harm, but what? Shut up.
I do worry about my friends sometimes, and I like to make sure that they're okay.
My heart goes out. I have 3 children myself, and we love these kids here. We do.
So here's what we do know. She was last seen on September 11th in an area near North McGregor Way. 4 days later, her body was discovered in Bayou, just off Spur 5. The owner of LA Burger and Daiquiris told us Jade left around 12:30, appearing to be herself, and was heading toward downtown. Sky 2 was overhead on the 15th, showing that stretch of Bayou where her body was recovered. But the big questions remain, Haley, how did she get there and how did she die?
Yeah, absolutely. Is the university saying anything about this?
Yeah, so we did hear from the university, Haley. They say, first of all, they are helping students cope with this by offering resources such as counseling services throughout this time. But they also are saying that they don't know many details surrounding the circumstances regarding her disappearance and her death. But it did send out a statement, I want to read that in part, where they say, "It is with profound sadness that we share the recent passing of one of our students, Jade McKisik, was a campus resident and student employee and a friend to many in our community." Of course, we're going to continue to press for those answers. As I mentioned, I'm going to reach out to HPD, the lead investigators in this case, to see what kind of update, if any, they had for us this morning. Of course, once we get new details, Haley, we'll be sure to pass them along.
The scariest thing in the world is to watch somebody leave an establishment and vanish. I think the thing that haunts me the most when it comes down to, even when you're looking at cases like the Naziah case, you know what I'm saying? It's very eerie when you see somebody walk across on a camera and then they vanish. You feel what I mean? And then you get this very minimum, you get very minimum details about what the fuck went on. It's bothersome to me. The person at the Strawberries and Daiquiris said she was heading downtown. How do you know that? See, it's shit like that bothers me. It's certain things that just bothers the fucking, like, how do you know where she was going? What gives you what makes you say that she was heading downtown? Because, if you feel like she was heading downtown, then you know something else that we don't know. You feel me? Why would you say that? How you know she wasn't heading home? So for you to say she was heading downtown mean that you overheard a conversation or you know something that you ain't talking about in real detail. Is it just me? Shit,
We'll back to you.
18 bodies have been discovered in Houston bayous. 4 of them were found this week alone. The body of missing 20-year-old University of Houston student Jade McKisik was found along Brays Bayou. Others were recovered near Greens Bayou, White Oak Bayou, and Buffalo Bayou. As Houston police investigate these cases, Fox 26's Julian Hartman spoke with a local constable who says this spike is unusual.
This spike to me seems like it's a serial killer on the motherfucking loose. Now, I'm not the smartest motherfucker. I know it's up to 15, but I'm just saying 4 in this little time, in this little cluster of time. September 15th, that's my birthday. So you figure that was 2 weeks ago? You got a total of all of this so far? Just in her time of disappearance? What the fuck? And now somebody's saying it is up to 16 altogether. That is a motherfucking serial killer on the loose.
Several bodies have been recovered
16?
in bayous in just 1 week. So in your experience, 4 bodies in 1 week, is that unusual?
Usually you don't find 4 bodies in the bayou in a week.
Does this raise any red flags for law enforcement?
Yeah, I think clearly when you have bodies starting to show up in bayous, it's always a concern for us because we obviously got to determine how the bodies got there, what was the cause of death, was it foul play, was it suicide, was it an accident, kind of what the circumstances were that caused the death of the person. So I'm sure the Houston Police Department is well underway of trying to determine the cause of death and taking the appropriate necessary investigative leads to go
and then when they be trying to find the cause of death ain't nobody swimming in the bayous, nigga. So the cause of death is somebody around there murking folks. I don't understand. The police to me just don't go with
all the case.
You can understand a lot of people have questions. They have concerns after hearing this news this week. A lot of people are making assumptions about these discoveries.
I think it's a bad idea to.
It's definitely a connection. Lexi, hell yeah, that's some bullshit.
In the investigation to determine
Breezy, thank you for the sub.
That's why we have an Institute of Forensic Sciences that will do autopsies on these bodies and determine the cause of death. And the Houston Police Department is very capable of doing a great investigation on these matters. So
I want to do a deep dive on this. Now let me ask you something. The 6 out of the 16 bodies, do we got pictures yet? Is it all black? Is it all black females or just females in general, all around like different spectrums of colors?
From our perspective, don't rush to any conclusions. Don't speculate. Let law enforcement do what law enforcement does, and we'll hopefully we'll have some answers.
A lot of people use these trails. What's your advice to folks that like to walk, bike, or run along the bayou?
Make sure that you can have yourself tracked by people that love and care for.
That's the reason why I do these cases, support a grapefruit, because there's going to be a lot of things that people do not hear. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. And that's the problem. Like, people think that, you know, we going to get something and it's going to spread. See, the things that spread is drama shit. That's what spreads. Stuff like this don't spread. And here's the thing. When you start having a buildup of bodies in Houston, now all of a sudden we got to start being vigilant in Mississippi. We got to start being vigilant in Florida. We got to start being vigilant in Atlanta. Because one thing about a serial killer and somebody who feel like that he's getting away with shit, they're not going to stay in one place. They'll start branching out. And by the time we get wind of what happened in Houston, this motherfucker's in a whole nother state with another 15 bodies that we don't know about. So that's why spreading these type of videos is so fucking important. And you got to spread them all. You got to spread them all.
For you. And they'll be able to see where you are on the trail. They would be able to see if you went into the water.
Nigga, what?
That was Jillian Hartman reporting. In the bayou, it is a term that we have heard here in Houston many times in the past, but not like we have over the past week.
As 5 bodies have been discovered in our city's bayous over the last week, 2 investigators Mario Diaz is in downtown Houston examining any potential connections.
This popped up on social media over the weekend, and the frequency in terms of the number of deaths that have taken place over the last week has many asking questions.
See, let me tell you the question I'm going to ask. I'm sorry, y'all, but fuck y'all police department, because y'all are looking to have some type of common denominator. The common denominator is that there is 5 new bodies in the bayou. Regardless if one was strangled, regardless if one was stabbed, regardless if one was shot, it is 5 bodies in the bayou. That is the shit that they got in common, goddammit. I don't understand why you're looking for it to be the same cause of death to make it seem like that's one person. Look, it could be one person doing all types of shit. There's enough stuff on First 48 in YouTube to where people could do things to where it does not look like it's the same person. I don't understand what the fuck they be thinking about. If you got 15 bodies in the bayou, that is the common denominator. You don't need nothing else tying the case together. The fuck is wrong with people? Am I tripping?
Houston's a big city, but for that number of people, even in a city as large as us, that number's concerning to say the least.
Indeed. 5 bodies discovered over the last week alone, including that of a missing University of Houston student found last Thursday. The cause of her death still under investigation, according to HPD. Had you ever heard of deaths in the bayou really before last week?
Not as frequent, no.
See?
It's hard not to hear about it since there's been many deaths, bodies found.
Over a dozen this year. Mayor John Whitmire tells 2 Investigates HPD has clearly informed him that none are connected.
So I'm firmly of the opinion that if this was the work of a serial killer, that local law enforcement would be on top of it and they would be sending out warnings.
Tim Miller of Texas EquiSearch knows Houston bayous better than most.
As many searches as I've done, Mario, I've never seen this many in one week in the bios. What's happening is leaving everybody with a huge question mark.
Once again, important to note, the mayor telling me that all the deaths along the bayous of Houston here this year, HPD tells him they have seen no connections to one case or another. The mayor also adding it is simply too much to have one death along the bayous in Houston. In downtown, Mario Diaz, KPRC2 News.
Hold on.
KPRC2 News.
At least 40 people have been found in Houston's Bayou over the past 3 years. 2 being Delano Burks and Jade McKisik. Residents suspect serial activity and is going unreported. Now, this is the reason why, and let me just bring this up. This is the reason why content creators do videos. Shit like this. Because everybody think it's for clout. Now, there's going to be some people that's clout. Everybody just do dumb shit. But some people live in Houston don't even know this shit is going the fuck on. Naziah went missing in Detroit, Michigan, and people who lived in Detroit didn't even know it happened. The power of social media is going to be a gift and a curse. This is very alarming to me. And then it's not fitting one demographic. It's just a motherfucker killing everybody. Now what I want to know is, and I'm going to do a deep dive on this, I want to know if there are different, I want to know if they're all one ethnicity. Because this is bothersome to me. There's men and women. You know what I mean? Or whatever. But nobody's saying nothing. And I want everybody to stop thinking that serial killers, they got to kill one way. Bro. No. These motherfuckers is getting craftier.
Authorities say surveillance video appears to have captured the last moments of 20-year-old University of Houston student Jade McKissik's life. She was found dead yesterday after being reported missing earlier this month. Out of respect for Jade and her family, KPRC2 News will not air the entire clip. KPRC2 News reporter Rochelle Turner returned to the scene where Jade McKisik was last seen to retrace her final moments. She's joining us now live with the latest. Rochelle?
Daniela, there's still more questions than answers. We've been at this gas station you see right here behind me all day, and people have been asking us about Jade, telling us that they've been seeing her story all over the news. But Jade was seen right here in this parking lot. These were the last moments that anyone seen her, and we saw surveillance video. I'm going to cross the street safely to show you just how this all kind of played out. We do know that this is still under investigation, but video shows her walking towards Brays Bayou, which is right over here. And at this hour, police tell us that her death is under investigation. There's no foul play and no trauma, but it's still a lot of questions surrounding her death. We do know that she came here to that gas station. She went inside to purchase a beverage, and then she walked right over here. But we just don't know exactly how she died. We've been speaking to people all day, some of them saying something's just not adding up.
It's
Others
not.
say that there's been a lot of deaths here in Brays Bayou. So we did reach out to Houston Police for more information, but right now they tell us that it's still under investigation. This is Jade Sage McKisik. The 20-year-old University of Houston student was last seen on September the 11th around 1 o'clock in the morning, right along North McGregory Way in 3rd Ward. According to Houston Police, she had spent the evening with friends at local bars and then left by herself and also left her cell phone. From there, she walks to this gas station.
Friends, can we do a better job? The fuck? 1:30 in the morning, can we do some battle buddy type shit? And make sure your friend get home? Like, who's letting their friend? What the fuck? Yeah, that ain't weird to y'all?
The clerk showed us video of her going inside and getting a slushie. She walks out these doors and walks into the parking lot. And this picture from surveillance shows Jade circled in green in the far right corner of your screen. It's the last time she was seen, according to police. It shows her walking towards Brays Bayou. To give you some perspective, the gas station is about 100 yards away from Brays Bayou. I'm gonna actually walk and see how long it takes me to get there.
So how in the fuck can somebody say there was no foul play when at somewhere at that type of night, how can you see what the fuck happened? How can you just sit up there and say something like there was no foul? You don't know if it was no foul fucking play. I know that she's walking by herself and I can count 1, 2, 3 persons of interest that I would like to talk to at that time. The fuck you mean?
Brays Bayou. To give you some perspective, the gas station is about 100 yards away from Brays Bayou. I'm gonna actually walk and see how long it takes me to get there. That video was sped up, but it took me about 27 seconds to walk from the front entrance to the intersection of McGregor Way and Scott Street. This camera right here at the end of the gas station shows Jade walking towards the left of the bayou, and then she goes out of frame. Sadly, 4 days...
Well, that's the video they need to be shown. With all due respect, we trying to figure some shit out. Like, the one you showed ain't helping us with nothing.
Days later, Jade's body was found in the bayou about 2.5 miles from the gas station. Police said an autopsy revealed no signs of trauma or foul play, and the cause of her death is under investigation. Jade was a junior who was studying strategic communications and advertising. She was part of the 2025 UH orientation team and worked on campus as a front desk assistant. So again, just another live look here at Brays Bayou, where police recovered the body of Jade McKisik. And just to give you that perspective again, just to kind of show you how close we are to this Shell gas station where she was seen on camera going in and getting something to drink. She goes out, she walks out of frame from this area, and then her body is found 4 days later. So still a lot of questions surrounding her death. We know Houston police and the medical examiner's office will work to try to figure out exactly how she died. Now, we have learned that there will be a memorial for Jade this Monday on September 22nd. It's going to be held at a park on the University of Houston's campus. You could read more details on our website.
I was just about to say that. Somebody just said it in the comments. I doubt if she was suicidal, she'd go get a slushie. Facts. You know what I mean? She belonged to a lot of parts of organizations. I don't think that, you know what I'm saying, it is in beautiful. Man, this don't make no sense. This don't make no sense to me. You feel what I mean? It don't make no sense to me at all. And then how can you say something was not foul play when you don't see what the fuck happened? You can't never deem it as such. The fuck is wrong with people, man? But that's what it seems like to me. That she was drugged. That's what it seemed like to me, that she was probably drugged. And listen, some of these folks know exactly how they doing. Like, they're that serious. You know how long it takes for something to goddamn kick in and things like that, bro. I don't see how anybody can say anything about it not being foul play when you don't see the last moments. Unless we can see her stumbling across the bayou and falling in, then it was some foul fucking play. You dig? I also want to know where the fuck her friends was. Why would you let somebody walk home at 1:30 in the morning? The motherfucking gas station that she seemed like she was at seemed like it was a goddamn club, a 24-hour club. So it's people out there sitting in their cars. You never know who's watching who. I don't trust no one. You feel me? I just don't. It's just ridiculous as fuck. The friends, all of them need to be questioned. That's just it. That's all I'm going to say about that. Y'all hold on. We got some other stuff we going to get into.